Alright, let's get into the trial. Second day of trial for the stolen turnabout. October 14, 9:41 AM, District Court Defendant Lobby number 4. Hey Nick! What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Wait, what? Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atme's trial today. Uh-oh. Detective Atme? They say they're going to try him as Mask the Mask. Already? That was fast. Yeah, no, but that's... the things are gonna get confusing here. Boy, I'd love to see Mask the Mask's trial. I know! By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. She only turns up to progress the plot. She only turns up for the sake of moving the plot on forward. I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me! Oh, Mr. Delight, good morning. No one likes me. Yeah, no one likes you. No one would notice me, even if I killed someone. They would if you killed someone. Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec. You don't mean... You're the murderer? No, no, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Sure they can. Of course they can. Now let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending him to help him commit the heist. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murderer, Nick? It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. I'm afraid that's not an option. So, they're trialing Look at Me for theft. But actually he's the murderer. They're putting Ron on trial for murder, but actually he is the thief. October 14, 10 AM, District Court Courtroom number 6. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. No, it's not, Godot. Godot, what are you talking about? Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. He's got the judge in the palm of his hand, yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. That's pretty funny. That's actually really funny. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Ha! Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that's exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes, well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. What is it? What do you mean? Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 AM on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 AM the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. What? That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot, please call your first witness. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. But the first one is always the best. Are you sure you're not gonna have caffeine poisoning? Mr. Godot, your witness. Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me, she allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. Ha! You've got guts, trite. What he's talking about. Alright then, Mr. Ron Delight, please take the stand. You did it, didn't you? Yes. No, that's not true. That's really good. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Sigh. Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with the face he's making. And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his coffin. Ha! Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security? Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. That evening, around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. Oh man, isn't Desiree here? 1 AM, the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. Ha! It's bitter today too, just like my destiny. You never know that from the way he's chucking it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. That evening around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. 1 AM, huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes, that's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No. Actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow, and my internal clock was also a bit... 1 AM, that's the exact time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, correct? It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure. His watch is slow. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Yeah, because a different person sent it. Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. Oh crap, I didn't read it. Ah, why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say anymore. Yeah, he's gonna say that the blackmail letters told him to steal things. Now, what should I do? Press harder! So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, eh? A perfect motive for committing murder. Wait, is it? Oh, but wait. Wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh. Is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. You have so much to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness! Let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. Ha! A muddy mudskipper in outer space had a better chance of surviving than I do. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway? The blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity revealed, correct? I'm sure it was referring to the whole master mask thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me. He didn't? Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. Just as long as Desi believes in me. You are so screwed. So that's why Mr. Light didn't believe he was Master Mask. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. A security chief? You? And yet, a year ago you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? That's got nothing to do with anything. This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Why he was fired? Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, the world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. The world is not filled with those. Okay, then I take it back. Defendant, please answer the question. Well, I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? You were one to talk, Maya. My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Oh, sweet. Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately. Wow! I wish I had never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that. He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes, I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse, crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. No, it's fine. He fired me for selling company secrets, but Desi doesn't know about that. Why would you do something like that? Well, for Desi's hobby, what else? Wasting money, huh? It's not a waste! So Mr. Light doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she? So it would seem. I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. I can't believe it! This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples. Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright. There wasn't much in his testimony, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something, at least that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. We better be careful. But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah. Alright, so we have to expose the fact that he does have a reason to be scared of being blackmailed. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. I wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. Present! Present Kane's list! Oh, come on. Blackmail threat. wasn't going to cause me trouble. Is it this? Nope. I don't know. Blackmail threatened. Oh wait, do I press here? Just what you're being blackmailed about anyway. Blackmail letter said if you don't want identity revealed. I'm sure it was referring to the whole master mask thing. Tisk tisk, I'm afraid that reason isn't going to hold up anymore. Oh good, thank you. What do you mean? The victim had no proof the defendant was Master Mask. But you were the one who stole company secrets only 1 year earlier. But that was all over with once I was fired. But it is true that the fact that I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now a whole year later. Is that really true? What is it, Nick? The fact that Ron was stealing company data. I wonder if he would have had a problem if that ever became public knowledge. Yes, he would. Mr. Delight, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public. Ugh. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do by bullying your own client? Desi would find out. And then she'd leave him. I guess. Ha! Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow. What? What? What's that supposed to mean? That's exactly right. Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo. Little lawyer amigo? Yes, now come on, provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Why would Mr. Delight want to keep his data stealing secret from going public? I think I present I present his wife. Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What is it? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared, very scared, of having a certain person find out your secret. Gulp. A certain person. Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. What? But listen to me, my Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Godot! Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Oh, no, everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that, or you'll be sorry. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far, have we? Have we learned a great deal? What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. Ugh. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead. I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that the mask struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Admi turned out to be the culprit himself, it was all a lie. Ha! No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked. There's no wound. We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Wright? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. So much faith. So much faith! When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Who was this suspicious shadow? If there were 1,000 of me and if even one knew, I'd tell you, trust me. What? His dodging all of our questions is not helping us win his case. Okay, then how was the victim, Mr. Bullard, at that time? What do you mean by how was he? Was he already dead? Was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Forget it. Suddenly I was hit on the forehead. After that I remember being a bit dazed. There's no wound. Your forehead? Yes, I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was an amazingly fast and powerful attack. Do you remember anything about who hit you? Well, like I said, it was a fast and powerful hit, so I think I was a little dazed for a while. I don't think Mr. Delight even grasped what you were asking. Yeah, I'd like to show him a fast and powerful attack myself. Maybe that would knock some sense back into him.